Good morning, Facebook. It's Vanessa here again, speaker, trainer, and head coach at Live, Love, Give. God, I can't even get my words out today, but it's awesome to have you guys here today, and it's a special topic, as always, because I've been, when I try and create these videos for you guys, I'm listening to what you guys are struggling with. I'm listening to the questions that I'm getting from people, and ultimately I'm seeing the patterns, and it gives me so much great content that resonates so much with myself, and I'm really hoping that it resonates with you as well, because so many people are asking me, what is the purpose of my life? Like, I don't get what's my purpose? What's my mission? We all think we've got this one sole purpose, and we're struggling to find what it is, and we're feeling totally unfulfilled. We're feeling totally defeated because we don't have the answers and we're not able to move forward. All we kind of know is that we're not feeling great with how life is at the moment. So wanting to just say a quick hi and a shout out to Yvette and Roy and Sapreet. Thank you guys for joining me, and Usama, thank you so much. Awesome as always to have you guys here with me. And I wanted to share a message with you guys because I was speaking to one of my awesome clients yesterday morning, and talking into the purpose. What is that purpose? What is my next step? Do I stay in this career path, or do I start following this mission to contribute, and ultimately trying to find a way to make that, do you just quit your job and you just go for this, serving this mission of contribution, or do you find a way to, like he would put it, find a hybrid of that combination? And ultimately what we sort of were talking into was the fact that so many of us are seeking this external thing to do. We're seeking this external purpose or mission to serve, but ultimately we're still focused on the external, and we're not fully tapping into the internal and what we can focus on and control and really attach emotional connection to. So ultimately I wanted to just share with you guys a little bit about what my purpose is, and my journey to discover and get real clarity around what my purpose is. It's been a journey, and I really believe that our purpose in life is always constantly evolving and growing just as we do. But ultimately, my purpose is to live into my best and highest self and help to inspire others to, bring out the best in themselves. Because so many of us, we're trapped in, how we're not good enough. We're oblivious to the beauty within all of us. We're oblivious to what our strengths are, and that stops us in our tracks. That is the reason why we're living unfulfilled lives, because we're not believing in ourselves, and when we haven't identified what our key strengths are, and we're definitely not playing to them. So, along my journey, it's all about personal growth. I believe in constant and never-ending self-improvement, self-growth, self-awareness, self-love, getting to a place of, being able to really be all of who you are without holding back. And ultimately, it's where my business has come from in terms of live, love, give. I really do believe that, the purpose of life is to live fully, to love openly, be fully, alive in that area. To love and be loved is a massive purpose in life. And ultimately, to discover what your gifts are and give them. We all have a unique set of gifts and strengths that can often go unrealized, and for majority of the population, they do. And we get stuck in this, day-to-day, repetitive, habitual lifestyle that none of us feel totally fulfilled in at all. And, we're not actually tapping into and developing and honing those unique gifts that we each have. So it's ultimately why I do what I do, because I was on that path, I was on that journey, and I feel so lucky and grateful to have come across the tools, the coaches, the mindset to be able to shift out of that unfulfilling path and ultimately be the creator of my destiny, of my life and my fulfillment, and in all areas. So that's why I'm so passionate about talking with you guys, in the hope that I can help to inspire you to focus on the best parts of who you are and step fully into your strength, knowing who you are, knowing what you want, and having that courage and that confidence to go after it. And that juices me, like nothing else. If I could impact only one person in that way, my life would be made, because that's what I'm here to do, and that's what juices me the most. So, you know, my hope and dream and desire is for all of you out there to get so emotionally charged, pumped up, and tapped into, you know, what that calling is for you, you know, and have a level of compassion and acceptance to know that you don't have to have the answers right here, right now. You're on a journey that never ever ends in tapping into more of what that truth is, that next layer of what that calling is, what really charges you, what really gets to, you know, your heartstrings, you know, and stop living to the expectations of others, of society, of our families, of, you know, anybody else, at the expense of our truth. So I hope that resonates with you guys. I know a few of you have jumped on, so I want to say hi. I love seeing you jump on. And where am I up to? Frederick, thank you for joining me. And so awesome to have you back after camping. And Roy, nice to see you. Sarah, always love it. Thanks for thanks for the dress compliment. I like that. And Manolo and Hyungal and Gerardo, Anyeta, you guys are awesome. George, awesome to have you. Vikas, Brian, lovely to have you again. And Andy and Manan and Diaz and Shane. Love seeing you back here. And Belinda, as always, and Emily, so awesome. And my very dear friend Jeremy, lovely to have you. And Hassani, yes, you made it. I love it. That's awesome. And sorry I can't read your name, but you're from Thailand, and that's awesome. I love seeing where you guys are from around the world. And Sydney from Malaysia, Victoria, Stephen, you guys rock. You guys rock my world. You give me so much energy each and every day when I see you pop on here. I am really hoping that this is, you know, something of value. I hope that it's resonating with you. If you're somebody out there who has been kind of struggling with this idea and concept, you know, particularly around, you know, it's thrown around so much in the self-development industry in terms of, you know, what's my purpose? You know, what should I be doing with my life? And we often get so stuck and so held up by that we stay on this unfulfilling career path, in this unfulfilling relationship, you know, in this unfulfilling lifestyle, when we know there's that deeper calling within that's saying, hey, there's more of you here. You know, what is it for you? But ultimately, what I was talking with my client yesterday about was that for me to take this step into, you know, discovering what my true calling and purpose is at this point in time, you know, I didn't have the answers when I made that decision. All I knew was what I didn't want. And I got clear that the path I was on was not for me. And that sometimes we need to start at that, you know, that pain point. You know, we as human beings, sometimes we need that kick of pain in order to get us on the right track. And it's my true belief that, you know, when we are on the right path, the universe makes it easy for us. Things start to get on our way rather than in our way. And it's when we're not on path and we're not listening to that deeper wisdom within us, you know, that's telling us, hey, what are you doing? Wake up. What are you doing here? You know, this is not the right path for you. You know, this is not the right relationship to you, for you. And get off it. You know, it's sending us these wake up calls. I was speaking to another brilliant woman the day before, and, you know, mentioning to her a great analogy, which is, you know, the universe, or whatever you call it, will send you a feather. It'll start tickling you, trying to let you know, hey, you know, wake up here. Are you on the right path here? And if you don't listen to that tickle from that feather, you'll get hit with a brick, and that's a bit more painful. You'll get another attempt at a wake-up call, and if you continue not to listen to the feather, to the brick, you'll eventually get hit by a bus. And this is your last sort of chance to wake you up, to shake you up, and to say, hey, what the hell are you doing? You know, get off this unfulfilling path. You know, for me in my life, I had to get hit by a truck at one point, or couple of different points, but the one point that I want to talk to you about today is, you know, there was a time in my life where I really didn't know who I was, I really didn't know what I wanted, and I certainly didn't have any self-belief or confidence to start that journey. And it took me, you know, losing my very best girlfriend of many years, losing my partner, having to, lost my job at the very same time. Like, this all happened within a week. and lost my job. I lost my home that I've been living in for the last 4 years. I had to, at that point, transition back home with my parents, and I decided to go back to uni. So my whole identity was completely shooken up and completely thrown out of, what the hell am I doing? And that's what I often refer to as that situational depression. That's what I went through. I completely lost who I was because I identified with all these external sources, not knowing who I was, but the universe finally was trying to shake things up for me because I wasn't listening. I wasn't listening when I heard, hey, I don't really like this job. It's not really playing to my strengths. Hey, this relationship, maybe we're not really totally aligned. Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing to build your skills and move in the direction of being able to add more value to people? All these things, and sometimes it just has to hit you at once like that truck does in order for you to finally wake up and finally take that first step, in seeking guidance, seeking help, looking to, what's possible and starting that journey. So I hope that this is resonating with you guys. Again, I want to jump back in. I know you guys have left me some comments here. What have we got? Belinda, I used to completely live my life at the expectation of others and I was miserable. That simple shift to do what makes me happy is a game changer. Yes. So true, Belinda. So true. And I'm so grateful to hear your journey and your breakthrough. And, for so many of us, when we're so focused on the external, particularly all you extroverts out there, we get so caught up in whatever makes others happy, makes us happy, but it becomes at the expense of our own truth. And that's where the pain hits. And when you can uncover what actually does make you happy, for me, it started with just giving myself permission to ask myself what was good for me, rather than asking everybody else, hey, what do you think I should do? Hey, what should I be doing here? What do you want? I had to make that shift to giving myself the permission to tap into my truth. And that's where my game sort of changed as well. So thank you so much for sharing, Belinda. Love that. And Donald and Jen, nice to have you. And Alekorori, nice to have you. And Chris, thank you so much. And Hoang, yes, happy you bring many value to it. Yep, thank you so much. And Darren, awesome to have you. And maybe a follower may be able to change your path if you looked at the purpose of healing. Yep. Okay, so trying to work out what you're saying to me there, but I'll come back to that. Stephen, thanks for the determination, encouragement. Awesome. I'm so grateful to hear that, Stephen. Thank you so much. That's one of the greatest compliments you can give me. And Camellia, awesome to have you on here. I love seeing you guys pop on. And Emily and Billy, and I completely understood the feather brick bus example. Awesome. I'm now seeking help to guide me and have been for almost 18 months now. Awesome. And it's so awesome to hear that you're on that journey. I believe that there is no greater journey than that journey of self-discovery and really tapping into your truth and building the courage and the confidence to dream massive. Just dream big, like get outside of your own limitations in the mind, in those fears, and actually just go for it, Like my challenge to you guys out there is to literally make a spot of time for 1 hour. I'd do it today or do it, this week, right? And just dream big. And I mean really dream big in terms of if you could have it all your way, if there was no filters you had to filter life through at all, what does your inner truth and calling tell you? What would life be like? What would you be experiencing? What would you be doing? How would you be contributing? How would you be growing? Just allow yourself to tap into that truth without limitation. And ultimately, that's how you get back on track. That's how you finally, start pulling the power from those external sources, start putting them in the place where you can get seriously powerful. Dream big, my friends. There is no greater thing that you can do for yourself than to get past your current limitations and mind-made fears. So hope that that's powerful to you guys. And Chris, I had a stroke and realized that life was precious. That's beautiful, Chris. I honor your journey, and I love when I hear people transform a massive challenge in their lives to the greatest gift that they've ever been given in their lives. And that always touches my heart so much to see people who've had massive challenge that a lot of us, we don't know what we'd do, we don't know how we'd cope, and they transform it into their gift, that made their life better. It made them wake up to the preciousness of life, like you're talking into there, Chris. I love that. And often it wakes people up to their desire to contribute to the lives of others. So love that. Thank you for sharing. And Andy, nice to have you. And Alavisan, nice to have you as well. And Eleanor and Us, thank you guys for joining. So awesome. So I hope that this message has been valuable to you. I hope that it allows you to get outside of, thinking that your purpose has to be this external thing and you have to quit your 9-to-5 corporate job and all of these things in order to live an inspired purpose and mission in life. My true belief is that our purpose is something that's internal. It's a state and way of being that we can live into and operate in any realm that we are in. I believe, Nelson Mandela, he was in prison for 27 years of his life. Do you think that he held himself back from his purpose in life for that 27 years because, I'm in prison, I can't do much here? No, he stepped fully into his purpose over that period of time. And look what changes he made to his country, to the world. That's a great example of not placing your purpose in the external circumstances that you can't necessarily control, and actually just know that your purpose in life is a state of being. And I really believe that we're all here to live fully, live our true selves without limitation, without, holding ourselves back, being fully expressive in our authenticity, and to love and be loved fully. And ultimately, to discover what our unique gifts are and to contribute them to the world. And the way that you do that as an individual is your soul's purpose. For me, that's all about growing, developing my own self and using my journey to help to inspire the best out of others. So, whatever is your calling, whatever just inspires you, that you could just not even want to go to sleep at night and have to be dragged to bed and just want to jump out of bed in the morning, whatever you discover those things to be, and recognizing that we're on this constant evolution of what that is, and we're on this constant journey. I wish nothing more than that for you guys. I think that is everything that we need. So I hope that this has been valuable to you guys. Thank you, Billy. Glad that has been valuable. And guys, have you got any questions or comments? I did have actually a couple of questions that I wanted to get to. I nearly forgot because I got caught up. You guys should know me now. I get caught up in these rants. But there was a bunch of questions. I don't think I'm going to be able to get to all of them, but I wanted to touch on one that was given to me by Jean just this morning, I think, based on one of my videos that was talking into stopping holding yourself back, like self-belief, the things I talk about all the time. And he said that my respected business partners aren't vested in their own betterment. Hence, they choose to procrastinate and sit on their ideas, whereas if they just decide to roll with their ideas, their dreams and wishes could come true. In turn, I get another step or 6 closer to mine, and he's ultimately referring to his business partners not moving forward and taking the action and getting really fired up and inspired. And that's what he's really asking. He said, do you have any ideas as to how I could get them as fired up about their ideas as I get? And why I wanted to touch on this is because I'm a huge believer in understanding ourselves enough so that we can understand others. And I really do. That's why I'm always talking into, personality psychology and why that's such a valuable tool. And particularly if you're looking at relationships in terms of intimate relationships or team dynamics in businesses, when we project how we operate at our best onto others, we're negating what their unique gifts are. And ultimately, when we can uncover how each of us are wired, what our key strengths and what I like to refer to as our genius zone is, it's all based on the neuroscience, how our brains are wired. When we tap into that and uncover what that really is, for you as an individual and for the people that you're attempting to create an extraordinary team with, whether that, again, be your intimate relationship, any sort of team dynamic, and particularly in business, ultimately, we can all get to play to our strengths. So it sounds like, Jean, if you're listening, your key strength is going with that, really getting fired up. You're probably the type in business that, is, that taking action type and going for it with the possibility thinking. But there's other people who bring their best out in for their business team, and for their best ideas are generated in slowing down, being more analytical in things. So I would love to have a deeper conversation with you, Jean, and particularly if you're interested in getting to understand what your personality makeup and how your brain is wired, why your genius is so fired up about ideas, and also the people that you're working with, because there's key people that we work best with, and they're often the opposite to us, because we see each other's blind spots, and we see all the blind spots so that we can tackle business problems and just challenges in life so much better. So I hope that that's valuable without, being able to go really in depth, because I don't know the personality types there and how that dynamic is operating. But if it is something that interests you, make sure you reach out, because I love nothing more than being able to help teams get the best out of one another. And like I said, whether that's intimate relationship, family dynamic, or in business, it's ultimate. So hope that was valuable. And just want to check in again with you guys. And yes, awesome. And Jen, I've been fortunate, enjoyed to reinvent several times and achieve so many of my goals. Currently in a space to dream real big. Yeah, I just get stuck on what it is truly want next. Yeah, awesome, Jen. And my experience with that is when we get a bit stuck, like what's next? Just go for it. Don't get stuck in the procrastination of, which one should I do? And then you never get moving. Jump into something. Particularly, if you're that kind of person who kind of learns through experience, you want to jump in, you want to try different things. The best advice I feel for anybody who's uncertain about, what they really want to do is just get out there. Just get out there trying things. The sooner you work out what you don't want, you'll work out what you do want too. So hope that's helpful, and it's so awesome to hear your journey on that, Jen. Thank you so much. And Pamela and Billy, Brian, awesome. I'm grateful that you're liking this message. And yes, definitely, Jeremy. I love that you want to learn about it. You know how pumped up I am about it, and we will get into that in one of our sessions. And Mano, awesome. And Frank, awesome to have you here. Thank you, Samuel. Awesome that this was helpful. Yeah, definitely, Jen, like that, discovering what your genius is, there's nothing more empowering. You don't get any more ahas like, there's so many of us out there that we discount our key strengths. We think we've been convinced by society or the people around us that those key strengths that we have are actually a weakness for us. And when we tap into how our brains are wired and really get an understanding as to, wow, okay, this is my strength. And I used to think that, this wasn't a great thing, and I've been told that it's not a great thing. We step into so much of our power and we unleash ourselves and our greatest gifts to the world. So thank you for your comments. And Razi, well, it's simple, obey the Almighty. Okay, all right. And Anne, I know oftentimes many people aren't sure what they love to do, and many times we make decisions on whether or not you can make money doing it. Is it possible all dreams and ideas can lead to financial security? And does our own belief rely on that financial success as well? I love having you here, Anne. You make me so excited because I love your questions because they're so intelligent, and for some reason they're kind of in sync with how, some of the things that I want to share with you guys. So I absolutely love that. And I totally forgot who said this quote. I think it might have been Jack Canfield, but he said that do what you're an 8, 9, or 10 at. Nobody's going to pay you for being a 4, right? So I hope that makes sense how I explained it. And what I'm saying is, ultimately, if we want to create a business out of our mission, our purpose in life, if you're really trying to create that hybrid of that, then you have to recognize and be honest with yourself about your strengths. And I'm a big believer in playing to your strengths. So, what are you an 8, 9, or 10 at? And if that is in alignment with serving that mission, serving that purpose, and you want to create a business out of that, go for it. But if you're honest with yourself and, in order to create a business out of that purpose that you're sort of uncovering, if it's only a 4 or less for you, just got to be realistic that potentially that's not the way that you're going to be able to attach that financial freedom and generate financial freedom. But like I said earlier, I really believe that our purpose is a state of being that you can take anywhere in life. So, I can't wait to have a chat with you, Anne, and dive in a little bit more with you on that. So thanks for booking in that session. I can't wait to meet you, and we'll definitely discuss more in depth about you. And Sarah, I have big goals and don't take action because of perfection or overwhelm. What to do next? What can help me move forward to more action? Awesome question. I love all you guys. You guys just rock when you ask me questions. And ultimately, I used to think of myself as a perfectionist until I got some coaching and I realized what's called the perfectionist's lie. So the perfectionist's lie is kind of this all or nothing attitude. It's like, okay, I have to do the best or nothing at all, right? And we get caught up in that and we kind of think, oh, well, yeah, I'm a perfectionist. But ultimately, the perfectionist lie is you're not believing in yourself. You don't believe in yourself enough to be able to move forward, right? So it's not that you've got to do this perfect job or it's not worth doing at all. Ultimately, that's the lie, because nothing in life is ever going to be perfect. And we get overwhelmed and we get perfectionistic because we're trying to put these blocks in place so that we can have an excuse as to why to not move forward. I hope how I'm explaining this is resonating with you. But I really feel into that, Sarah, because like I said, I've been trapped in that perfectionistic lie. And ultimately, you've got to do the work on you to get that clarity within as to whether you're on path, because is it that you're not moving forward because this thing that you think you should be doing is actually just not aligned with the truth of who you are? Or is it that you're not tapping into your strength? You're not building that relationship with self to believe in yourself, to have that courage to start moving forward. And if you want just a quick little step to test this out, a more surface level tip here is what I tell people when they get stuck in that procrastination is to set the timer on your phone for 5 minutes. That's it, just 5 minutes. So, and all you do is you press go and you start that one thing that you've been procrastinating on. You start writing that email that you've been putting off, or whatever it is, whatever the thing that you're procrastinating is, what's that step? And just start taking the action. And you're not expected to continue after that 5 minutes. You only have to spend 5 minutes starting this. But the beauty of this process is often it's just that little start without expectation, without this total overwhelm about all the things that we have to do, and we have to do it all at once rather than just take a little step. We gain momentum when we take that first step, and that allows us to sort of push through that procrastination and start diving into it. So often the procrastination comes because our expectations are way too high. We're expecting ourselves to achieve so much in such a small period of time, and we don't want to fail. So we get caught up in the perfectionistic lie of, well, it's all or nothing. I can't do my best, so I'm not going to do it at all. And you get stuck in that procrastination. So I hope that that's helpful to you. Definitely let me know. And yeah, definitely, Anne. I love Jack Canfield as well. I love when I heard that, do what you're an 8, 9, or 10 at, and nobody's going to pay you to do be a 4. that was just like, whoa, okay, yeah, truth bomb right there. I loved it. And Redvia, thank you for joining me. And Judy, thanks so much, Jen. So appreciate that this is valuable to you. Thorraine, my friend, awesome to have you. Thanks for joining. And guys, you know, I think I'm going to tap into some more of the questions that came to me in tomorrow's live, because I got a bunch of them, and like I said, I get caught up in these rants with you guys, and I don't want to be here all day. I know you guys, your time is valuable, so I'll jump into those questions in the coming lives over the next few days. If you have any other questions you want me to touch on, any topics that you're interested in at the moment, you want to hear another perspective, definitely let me know. And I can't wait to see you guys tomorrow. So sending you all of my love, light, blessings, gratitude, and I hope you're having a rocking day wherever you are in the world. Thank you so much for watching and interacting with me, guys. I appreciate you all so much.